Now I'm going to explain how to set up Jini on your machine and how to make it work. In order to start into Jini, the first thing we need is to make sure we have Jini package available in your machine. Jini is now called as Apache River. So you need to download the Apache River, which is a file like this, and you need to extract the file. So you will get the folders like this. So once you have extracted the folder for Apache River, now you can start writing our programs. In my case here, I have put the Jini programs in two folders. One is a set of server programs, the other is a set of client programs. The client programs are available inside a folder called client, and the server programs are outside here. This is myservice.java, myserverinterface.java. These are the server programs. For the client, we have myclient.java. If I open the myclient.java in Notepad, this is the program for myclient.java. The important thing we are going to look here are this. Number one, it has what is called as set security manager, new RMI security manager. This is about using a policy file. So we have a policy file available in the client folder called as jini.policy. In this policy file, we permit everything by saying grant permission java.security.all permission. Generally, it's not a good idea to permit everything when you have connections like this, but because we are doing just a testing system, we allow this to happen. Number two, for this program to compile, you can go into the folder and try to compile. So this is my folder, Jini Apache River. Let's go into client. Let's say I put Java C, myclient.java. If I compile now, you see it gives you lots of errors. And if you scroll up to see the error, you can see the first error. It says it doesn't know. Import net.jini.code.entry is not available. So if you go to the program, you can see in the program among the import lines, I have the very first line, which is importing the Jini package, which is not available. So what we do is to compile such a program, you will write Java C, then minus class path, provide where the class is. Let's go to the folder to see where the Jini files are, the class files are. If you go down here, go into Apache River 2.2, go to lib, you will find it has the Jini core here, Jini extension. If I open the Jini core file, if I open it using WinRAR, okay, let's go in. You will see it has the net. Inside net it has Jini. If you watch in our program, Jini, net Jini core entry. Core entry. There should be a class called entry.java. So this is one of the libraries we need. Let's say we need all the libraries in this folder, then we can just say like this, class path. We can write, this is in the client folder, so double dot. Then you can put Apache, this folder here, Apache River 2.2 /lib/star. This means it includes everything, all the jar files in that folder. Then you can type myclient.java. If you compile now, you can see it gives me an error. It doesn't know my server interface.java. Actually, if you go to the client folder here, you find my server interface. What is my server interface? This is the interface program for the server side. It extends remote. It only has the signature of the method. It doesn't have the implementation of the method. So to do it, remember this my server interface is also in the same folder. So go to the class path. You can put a semicolon, put a dot. Dot means current folder. Because my server interface is in the same folder, you put a dot there, plus enter. And then press enter. It compiles now. Actually, it will compile both the interface program and the client program. You can see if I delete these two files right now. Okay. Now there is no class file there. If I compile again, you will see it generates two class files. One is a my server interface, the other one is a my client. So now the compilation for the client is done. Let's try to compile the server program or the service program here. So in this folder, we have the service program. To start with, let's delete all the class files here. Okay, I've deleted the class files. Now if I put dir, I only have the Java file. So let's try to compile again. Java C, my service.java. Again, we have lots of error here. If you go scroll up, you see it's almost similar error, but this time you don't have the class called name. So we need to do the same thing by introducing the class path. Class path dot slash Apache. This time I am not putting double dot because we are in the same folder. We are in this folder here, Jini Apache River. Inside that is this folder. I am in the same folder here, accessing the file myservice.java. Slash lib slash star myservice.java. Press enter. This time it says the similar error, which is my service interface is not around. So put semicolon and a dot. If you are running the program in Unix based systems, Linux, Macintosh like this, then you need to put colon dot, not semicolon. Instead of semicolon, you replace it with colon. Press enter. So this time you can see the necessary files are compiled here again. Now I'm going to run the server first and then the client. Obviously, server should run first. So let's try to run the server. Okay, now I'm getting error, no class defined. Again, similar error, entry is missing. That means I don't have the class path specified. So class path dot slash Apache. I'm pressing tab here just to go to the next level. My service. Press enter. It says could not load the main class. Basically, it's not in the correct folder again. It's not in the, my service is in the local folder, but that is not included in the class path. So again, dot here. Semicolon the dot. Now it gives you an error which says there is some permission problem. That means you need to provide what is called as the proxy file or the policy file, java dot security dot policy equal to, let's see what is the policy file name here, jini.policy, jini.policy. Press enter. This time I'm getting an error, connection refused connect. So meaning it cannot start. Basically, to start Jini, you need, or the Apache River, you need to have some services running. Apache River comes up with some services. So let us start the services for us first. That is what is called as a service browser, which comes along with Jini. Let's start that one. Let's open another terminal. Again, go into Apache River folder. Jini. And then here we have to go into Apache River 2.2, Java -d, java.security.policy. We need to start a policy file. Suppose, let's say we don't write a policy file. We just say jar lib slash browser.jar. What does this mean here? I'm in the Apache River 2.2 folder. Let's go into Apache River 2.2.2. Inside lib, I have a folder, I have a jar file called browser.jar. If you want a jar, start a jar file, then you can use java blank space minus jar and the jar file. So let's press enter. Gives me an error. It says that browser initialization failed. Right, you can see Java security problem is there. So let's give the security then. -d java.security.policy. Again, we need to specify the policy file. So if you go down here, there is no policy file in this folder, but if you go one step before this policy file, jini.policy is here. So we can put double dot slash jini.policy. Press enter. So it should start a browser like this. This is called service browser of Jini. So now you will see what are the services that are running here. So there is nothing which is running. Basically, for Jini to run, we need a registry. A registry is what is called regi here. In the case of Jini, they call it as regi, but that is a must to run the service here. So let's start the regi here. How to start it? Agi is available in here, inside this folder here. If you go into Apache 2.2, go into examples, go into hello, go into lib, not under lib, it's under hello. In the scripts, you will find what is called jrmp regi. This is the registry file. Okay, so let's start it up. Again, to start, we need to go into the folder, cd practice Jini Apache 2.2 examples hello. They're in this folder. And if you go into the folder, scripts folder, and then start Java jrmp.bat, you will see it will give you an error, unable to access some files here. Basically, it's trying to access the lib start.jar. Okay, so if I want to access the lib start.jar, I should go one level before, go to lib. There should be no, there is start.jar here, it's not available here. Okay, so if you go double level above, there is no lib folder. But if you go one more, you'll find there's lib here, that is start.jar is available here. Okay, the start.jar is here. So basically, what happens is, if you go and run it from the hello folder, scripts /jrmp/regi, that use other slash here, jrmp regi.bat. Let's open the file and see what is inside. Examples hello scripts jrmp regi.bat. Open in Notepad++. You will see double dot means one folder before. So right now I'm running it from hello folder. So if I go one folder before means examples folder, another double dot, so it means one more folder before, which is under Apache River. Then it says lib, then it says start.jar. So you can see under lib, I have the start.jar. So no problem. Okay, you should be able to access it now. So let's press enter. So once you enter it, you will see it starts doing certain things here. But it does gives you some error like problem accessing, and you can see there are a lot of errors here. If you scroll up, you will find some things here. You will find here it says class not found, regi registry proxy could not determine the setting, and then it says something is missing basically. What it is expecting is to have a web server where it can host the registry, but that's not running. So let us stop this guy here, Control C, I'm terminating it. So let's open another terminal. We need to start a web server here. Okay, in order to start a web server, basically what you can do is you can run the web server that comes along with Jini itself. So you can see all those things which I did. It gives you the information where I have run the browser. You will find some errors are shown here, like same error, it says the preferred setting is not found, class not found, and so on. So let's start the HTTP server. Open another terminal. Let me go into the right folder right now. So this is our folder. To start what is called as the HTTP server, it's under scripts httpd.bat. So let's go into the same place. Examples should be under Apache River 2.2 /examples/hello. Let's start scripts start httpd.bat. Again, the slash is wrong. Alright, now it is running a server. So if I open a browser right now and I say 127.0.0.1:8080, you will see there's something coming. Okay, empty page, it means the server is running. It is not your J2EE application, Glassfish application server. It is running from the Jini River itself, Apache River itself. Let's run our regi again now. Let's see what happens. Scripts /regi.bat. Now it is working. It doesn't give you any error right now. Like before, there was error here. Now there's no error. Let's go back to our registry. You can see there's a registry now. Okay, this is a service browser. Enable the registry. Okay, once this is done, now the service registry, which is your lookup server, is running. Let's go to the server now, run the server program. Like what we did before. Let's start the service program. It says server is ready. Go back to the browser. You will see it says it's an unknown service. Okay, we will discuss why it is called unknown service little later. Let's go back to the client. We need to try to run the client here. Right, by closing the server, you will see the unknown service will go. So the unknown service should go off right now. Let's see. Service is there but not there. Let's run this guy. Service again. Let's go to the client. Let's run the client now. My client. It's always the same error. So again, let's put the class path equal to dot Apache river / lib. This time let's add the colon dot also -d java security dot policy equal to Jini dot policy, then put my service, my client. Sorry. Okay, it says there is some mistake there. Yes, this class path is not equal to sign. Class path space. Yeah, that's a mistake there. So the client is now running, but it could not find where the server is. So basically, the unknown service doesn't help you to find. So what you have to do is this. You have to go to our server folder, take the my service and the my server interface, both of these classes. Let's take only the my service class now. And you need to copy it into the folder where the server is hosted. Okay, the web server is hosted. It's basically under here, Apache libdl. We need to copy it here. So let's copy the my service here. And we also need to copy the my server interface. Let's copy them. Okay, now go back to our browser. Service browser is here. Let's stop and start the server again. Okay, the server is now ready to run. Let's run the client. Client says unmarshaled error. Okay, return class not found my service. So it still cannot find the service here. So let's go to the browser. Okay, the browser we have opened few minutes ago. Let's see it is able to access our file or not. My server service.class. Yes, the file is there. So we don't need to save the file, but we know it is able to access now. So let's discard downloading it. There's one more thing we need to do. Because we are hosting our server at some specific location, we have to inform in the server side where is it hosted. Okay, so it is done using this command here, this one here. So let's go here to the server, move it a bit, -d java.rmi.server.codebase equal to http://127.0.0.1:8080/. So now the server is running. If you scroll down now to our service browser, you see the name is no more unknown service. The name is changed to the original names there. So now let's run our client program. Right now, client is able to contact to the server. It's giving a reply, calling, say hello world from my service. So this is how a Jini works. So let me recap here. There are a few points to note here. Number one, let's give a summary. Number one, to run Jini, we need to have Apache River downloaded. After you have started Apache River, we can start the browser, service browser, which will show you which service is running, which is not running. So that is a way to identify what's happening and what's not happening. Then you need to start your registry, which is under scripts/jrmp/jrmp-regi.bat. That's a file which we need to run. Then you need to run that file from the hello folder, examples hello folder. Then we also need to run one more file, which is the httpd.bat, which is your web server. So web server should be run first before you run JRMP Regi, okay, because Regi needs web server to run. Then you can compile your Java programs, the client and the server programs. Then make sure you host the server interface and the service program, both of them, the server and the server interface program, inside lib-dl folder under Apache River 2.2.2. All right, now you have to run your server program. After that, you need to run your server. When you run the server, provide appropriate policy, java.security.policy. Then you provide the class path. Also, you need to provide what is called as a code base. If suppose the server is running at a different folder, different machine, you can provide, okay, which is the machine where you are hosting the service there. Okay, with the port name, whatever. You don't need to say the name of the service there, but you have to give until the path where you are storing the file. Then you say my service. That's the name of the server. So server is running. Then from the client side, you just have to run the program with the class path, with the security policy, and then run the name of the client. That's our client class. That's it. This will run everything. Note, to compile the client program, we need the server's interface program. If you don't have the server interface, you cannot compile, it will give you errors. So I hope this is clear. We can see Jini needs a server, which is a registry server, which needs a web server. And then you have to provide the service on the server, which could be accessed by the client, and the client contacts the server to get the details, and they talk to each other. So from the programming side, you can see this is the server interface, this is the policy file, this is the client program, and the server actual service program is this one. So differences in the case of the server program, you have the say hello, which is the method you are calling from the client, and here we also have a RMI security manager in the server side. You can see here we are actually putting things, we are registering into the registry, okay, in the case of the server. But if you go down to the client, we are actually getting the registry information. We are looking up into the registry. Okay, we are searching it, which is using lookup. We are searching for some service name. Remember, if this service name is different from this service name, then they won't work together. Okay, because of this same name, it is matching, it's returning back to you the object. And then you can call the respective methods like. And if you want to register a service, you put a name, you create an object, and you will use the object along with the name to register the service. Okay, so you can see I'm creating a service item, then I'm registering it, and then I'm registering with a lease forever, so it's available forever. And then in the case of the client, I am just putting a name, and that's it. I don't know the object name, so I have to wait. Lookup, it will return the respective object. That is why I need the my server interface, because I need to get the object with regard to the server interface. And then I can call the respective methods, whichever I need to call from the server side. I hope this clarifies Jini here. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.